Hi guys, welcome to Page to the Core. I've got a couple of things to talk about today. First of all, obviously Wilfried Zaha went off injured in the game against Bournemouth, so it's a very real possibility that we've seen the last of him this season and potentially the last of him as a Crystal Palace player. Now, Roy Hodgson was asked about this, about how they would miss Wilfried Zaha, and he said that certainly 4 years ago when he was playing, when he was manager before, he relied on Wilfried Zaha hugely, but he thinks now with Olise and Eze and other players that have come in, he thinks that actually Crystal Palace aren't as reliant on Wilfried Zaha as they once were. And of course, he calls him a club legend and says that as a club, the fans will miss him, the club will miss him, obviously. But he thinks that in terms of the players, in terms of the way the team are, he thinks that they will be okay. He thinks that, if especially if they bring a couple of players in, that actually they could cope without Wilfried Zaha. So that's an interesting point from Roy Hodgson. Second thing I want to talk about is Jefferson Lerma. Now, obviously, he was the Bournemouth player who um, Joachim Andersen allegedly punched. You've probably seen the replays yourself already anyway. However, apparently the FA have said that they're happy with the VAR decision, that no action should be taken, and they're not going to take any retrospective action either. So apparently, the Bournemouth manager was quite upset about the whole situation, thought that he was punched, suffered a broken nose, of course, but the FA are quite happy with the fact that the situation was resolved on the pitch with VAR, so that's a good thing as well. It means no further issues for Joachim Andersen. And the third thing I'm going to talk about is Michael Olise. Now, I've talked about this before, about how PSG have been looking at him. Apparently, according to the reports that I've been reading, PSG have formally approached his representatives to see if they can coax him away from Crystal Palace. Now, apparently, Crystal Palace are quite unhappy about this situation, and they're currently in the works to redo his deal and to give him a longer contract. I think it's here till 2026 at Palace, so they're looking at the minute to renegotiate his contract to keep him here a little bit longer. They don't want to lose Wilfried Zaha and Olise in the same summer window. Of course, they're not going to want to do that. So obviously, they're looking now to give him a new contract that will keep him here. And I'm sure we're going to lose some players anyway. I mean, AU and MacArthur and probably Tompkins, maybe Ward and Klein. We might lose one of those as well. So I think we're going to be losing a few players in the summer. So obviously we want to keep the best ones that we've got. Hopefully Zaha, and certainly hopefully Elise and Eze as well. So those are the 3 bits of news I'm going to talk about today. Let me know your thoughts as always down in the comment section. I would love to hear them. And also don't forget to subscribe if you're not already for daily Crystal Palace news.